Beyond Pixels features the top experts behind the most innovative gaming immersive activations. Beyond Pixels is now filming some of its shows in front of a live audience. Beyond Pixels in real-life events feature industry-leading experts sharing insights to fellow game changers that include brands, marketers, and creators. It is the ideal setting for the leading innovators in the UGC gaming and immersive spaces to network and collaborate together. We totally expect that magic will happen at each and every one of these events. We all gain as a community working and collaborating together, especially when you are lucky enough to be involved in the most dynamic and innovative aspect of new media. Beyond Pixels in real-life events are initially being introduced in Los Angeles, but our goal is to expand these events globally to cities such as London, New York, Hong Kong, Singapore, Paris, Tokyo, Montreal, Mexico City, and more. If you're interested in attending a Beyond Pixels in real-life event or being a part of this community, join our Telegram group. Beyond Pixels presents its first IRL event, live on the water at AWE, an immersive yacht event. Hosted by Daniel Barry and Nodo Ivanidze. With guests, Janice Chung, Global Strategy Zepeto, US, Morgan Tucker, Head of Product, Creator at RecRoom, Eric Kabisch, VP of Design at VRChat. Filmed in Long Beach, California.
Hello everybody, we are back. Is everybody still having fun? I didn't hear any. Hello, is everybody still having fun? All right. So, how many people here are from LA? I want to hear a noise.
Yeah.
Who's not from LA?
Wow.
About even. That's about even. So, another quick question. How many of you here are attending AWE? How many people are not? So, question now is, how many of you people attended Santa Clara before coming here today? So, Santa Clara or Long Beach? What do you guys like better?
Long Beach.
So, Long Beach, let's hear Long Beach. And how about Santa Clara? Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah. So Long Beach won.
So, most of you probably are not familiar with Beyond Pixels. Beyond Pixels was started in November of this past year. And basically what we do is we interview and showcase the leading innovators that are in the immersive and UPG gaming experiences.
UGC gaming.
UGC gaming. I told you I already had too many.
I was like, yes.
But, we have had the opportunity to feature some awesome guests. We've had Nick Hill from Sawhorse. You guys have heard of him? We've had Charles Hambro from Geek. We've had Matthew Warneford from Dubit. We've had Nodo, over to you. I'm going to give you a chance.
We had President of Webby Awards, we had Super League, we had Walmart, we had many, many amazing people. And the main idea behind the Beyond Pixels is to combine this community all together and push collaborative work, right? Since we are very new in this space, without each other's helps and education share, we wouldn't be moving further. And then I'm so happy we have so many smart minds on the boat. Please woo for our immersive space on the immersive boat. and then Beyond Pixels' main idea is to collect this community together, and then all this recording we will be able to see next week on 26th of June at 10 a.m. PT. I invite you all to listen our live show, which will be showcasing our boat gathering. And also, on top of that, we all gonna invite you on your email addresses, which you registered for this event, to our Beyond Pixels IRL events in the future, which will be happening on quarterly basis in the beginning. And then we will be starting from LA and then moving in other cities like London, Hong Kong, San Francisco, New York, and etc.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah.
We will do it for sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So next the 26th of June, tune in because you're probably going to be able to see yourselves. We're getting a lot of B-roll, so we're trying to get everybody on the boat to make sure that you'll be able to see yourselves. And then we'll also then be posting the show also on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, et cetera, and so forth. So I think we should get it on here.
And then at the end of the day, I really want to shout out for the Sohorse and Metaviu who made this event possible. And then shout out for them one more time.
So again, Metaviu being represented by Nodo himself, my co-host. So
yes, I'm
a big hand for Metaviu.
You're welcome.
All right, so why don't we get started with the panel? And what we're going to do is we're going to have each person on our panel introduce themselves. Janice, why don't we get started with you?
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Janice. I currently oversee US strategy at Zepeto. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it is Asia's largest metaverse platform. I'd love to talk more about it later, but I currently work there, and prior to that I was at TikTok for 2 years. So if anyone has questions about TikTok, we'd love to chat about that too, because I have a special heart for TikTok as well. But yeah, today I'd love to share with you how brands can connect with Zepeto and gain the most out of it, and yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it.
Amazing.
Morgan, over to you.
My name is Morgan Tucker. I'm the head of creator at RecRoom, and focusing on all things kind of UGC. Before RecRoom, I was at Roblox for 5 years, led a bunch of teams there, but towards the end was focused on music, brands, and education. And before that, I was at IMVU, so I've spent a long time in this kind of virtual world space.
And back to you, Eric.
Hey, I'm Eric Kabisch. I'm currently at VRChat, where I'm VP of Design, and I lead teams across systems, UX, brand, user research, and 3D art. And mind you, I've only been at VRChat for 2 months, so new there. Before that, for 3 years, I had a similar role as VP of Design at Roblox, where I was able to kind of hang out and work with Morgan. And prior to that, I've led teams at Google, where we launched Google Stadia, the cloud gaming platform, and at Scopely, where we scaled Scopely from a tiny little startup to a big mobile games publisher and studio. I'm super excited. For those who don't know, VRChat is a immersive social platform powered by a user-generated content ecosystem. And our mission is to connect people and communities through immersive social experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So interesting that several of you mentioned the Roblox as being past experiences. I think Nodo and myself, we know Roblox and Fortnite and Minecraft pretty well, but I'm going to be really, really honest. I'm not that familiar with your platform. So what I'd like to do is, if you could start by giving us an idea of what is the major difference, say, between your platforms and like a Roblox or a Fortnite, because I think more people really kind of understand those platforms versus yours. So if each of you could kind of differentiate that so our audience can understand better.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll start with you.
Yeah, Zepeto, again, is a metaverse platform where the avatar is at the core. You can use your avatar to create anything you can imagine, express yourself, and share yourself. At the core, it's really social, so I would compare if Roblox is really about user-created games, Fortnite is more like Battle Royale, and Sandbox is, virtual assets. I would say Zepeto is more social, and I love to describe it as an all-in-one tool for social things to create, to share with your avatar. And yeah.
So RecRoom has been around for about 8 years. It actually started life as a VR-centric, actually it was VR only in the beginning, game that was really focused on social interaction, really pioneered a lot of what social in the VR space looks like. Over time, it evolved into a UGC-focused platform. And I would say the major difference with RecRoom versus other things is that synchronous social is very easy, very kind of free-flowing on the platform. And the creation tools are available to all users, regardless of what platform they're on. So whether you're on VR or PC or phone, you have access to the ability to create games or assets for your avatar or other things like that. So it's really about trying to lower the barrier to creation for all players.
Awesome. Thanks,
Eric?
Morgan. Yeah. So obviously, VRChat has a lot in common with Roblox in that it's a UGC-oriented platform for the creation of immersive experiences. I think as a differentiator, one of the things that's really interesting and I think unique about VRChat is the deep level of immersion and presence that users feel in there, and I think it's like it comes from an experiential place, right? VRChat also started about 10 years ago as a VR native platform, and has invested a bunch in the technology and in the user experience of feeling present in the world and creating these sort of lifelike experiences inside the platform. I think some of that comes from a lot of our users really invest in high-end VR equipment. They're using gaming PCs, they're using headsets, they have full body tracking.
So
they
it's
have
basically,
sensors.
it doesn't matter the platform. There's
We've expanded through platforms, so it's multi-platform now. We've expanded from VR to PC VR, the Oculus headset, and now we're moving into mobile and tablet. But I think that VR first presence, including full body tracking, hand tracking and finger tracking, and avatar to avatar interactions are something that's really unique where I can reach out. Well, if Morgan had hair, I could reach out and touch his hair and his hair would move, right? So
that's cool.
there's this deep
That's
thing
cool.
of presence. The other thing, one thing that's super unique is the limit of, or there's less constraints on what we enable for creators to do with their avatars. So people create these really rich, imaginative avatars that structurally don't have a lot of constraints, and also interaction-wise, they have these wild particle systems and everything that happens. So I think this combination of a diverse range of avatars where people actually see themselves as the avatar rather than as wearing an avatar, and the deep presence really make a really unique sort of experience on VRChat.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. And since we already know about those platforms, we have a couple of the brands and agencies attending this event, and then our listeners mostly are people who are just getting in this space or are already in this space. They understand perfectly, most of them, okay, Roblox is played out mainly by Gen Alpha and Gen Z. Same with Fortnite and Minecraft. We know which kind of people play Decentraland and Sandbox.
Yeah.
We would love to know which kind of audience people are coming to your platform, right? Some people might use for events. So we would love to get, let's start from this side now. Let's start from the Eric. So
Back to you again, Eric.
Okay, I get to go again.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to be. You
Twice
guys are
in a
super
row.
succinct.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's our turn now.
So
Eric, you're on a roll.
So VRChat is 13 plus, first of all. But I think many of our
You said
users
13 plus.
13 plus,
Okay.
right? So we don't have an under 13 audience. But many of your users skew a little bit older, so we particularly resonate sort of with like an 18 to 25 and
Okay.
even older. There's diversity within our audience. I think there's three kind of core things that a lot of people who really deeply engage with VRChat hold in common. One of which is they're highly creative, and many of them are creators. Like relative to a lot of the other UGC platforms, there's a higher percentage of our user base that actually does create. And then for us, create means you've done something in Unity and uploaded it to the platform, whether it's an avatar or world. I think the second thing is because of this deep immersion, people come to VRChat a lot for social experiences, right? There's gaming that happens, but I think people are there to have hangout experiences and really sort of connect with other people as they would in the real world. And then I think the third thing is, again, in contrast to maybe some other social platforms, people don't necessarily bring their IRL friends there, but they're looking to connect with new people. And so we see really amazing stories about people who have overcome loneliness or other challenges because they can't necessarily find people that they connect with in their immediate geography, but they can find that on the platform.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool. How about you, Morgan?
So on RecRoom, the center of gravity is in the teen plus So we have a junior system for folks that are under 13.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, the broader player base is in that kind of teen plus zone. Our creator base is really diverse. And again, to Eric's point, RecRoom actually has a very high percentage of creators to players. So one great stat is that of all of our DAU, about 20% are actually picking up creation tools and using them every day. So that's very high for a platform like this. Yeah. And within the creator base, the diversity skew is very different than the player base. It's interesting. It's if you're focused on the art aspects of creation, actually skews very heavily female, very much in the mid-20s and older. So it's a very cool platform in that it's reaching a lot of different types of users. Folks come to RecRoom, I think, probably primarily for the social. It is like a very social app. It was, again, the first true like social VR app. It's now extended itself onto pretty much every platform that exists at this point. So mobile, console, PC, etc. In the last few years, the UGC creation aspects of the platform have grown to a degree where I believe as of last week, we're at about almost 70% of our playtime is spent in UGC created applications versus first party. So that's a great growth trajectory for us. It's a very exciting place to be.
No, that's amazing. Like, I love like how each platform you mentioned has different type of audience. So let's move to Zepeto. Janice.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Zepeto.
and it'll be kind of interesting, I think. So before we get into you, so in terms of the countries that you concentrate on, what would be the countries? I mean, is it English speaking or whatever?
Yeah, so it's a pretty international user base for VRChat actually. You know, we see a lot of distribution. There's heavy Western audience. There's a big focus in Eastern audiences, especially in Japan. There's a really deep creator community there.
Okay.
South America and Brazil, we're really seeing a lot of penetration there. It's been English focused, but we did just release a local community-generated localization system, which is great because it's allowing people to actually take control of localizing content within their own language.
And how about RecRoom?
Yeah, similarly, very much focused, English-speaking North America and kind of EFIGs, European countries.
Okay.
Eyes towards global expansion, but we're not quite there yet.
Gotcha. And now to you.
Yes.
and I think your answer is going to be a little bit different. So
Yeah, so Zepeto did start out in Korea, but we have a huge, immense global audience. Currently, we're actually fastest growing in the United States. So we have over 2 million users, monthly active users in the United States alone.
Wow.
And we've
That's
actually
a number.
amassed 100% growth since last year. So we're continuing to grow high. And in terms of our key user group, our target audience is females from 13 to 24 years old. And they are extremely fashion savvy, very tuned into pop culture, into TikTok trends. They love sharing trends. They love interacting with users for trends. And so yeah, for fashion brands out there, you know where to come to. We work with tons of fashion brands because users love dressing themselves, customizing their avatar, from makeup to hair, shoes, accessories. They're spending most of their time on customizing and dressing their avatar.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
That's quite interesting. I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old daughter, and they're both into K-pop.
Yes.
And so I'm imagining that K-pop has a huge factor in terms of like.
K-pop is growing. So along with pop, K-pop trends are huge. We work with so many different artists and groups such as BTS, Blackpink. So users also come in with their fandoms and grow fans.
Which is global.
Yeah, and they connect with fans and engage with fans in other ways through our features.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Very cool. So I guess the next thing that I would be really quite interested in is what content works best on each of your platforms. Let's see. Morgan, we're going to
Morgan,
start with
let's
you
start from
first.
the middle.
Go right to the middle. So, many years ago, RecRoom created a first-party piece of content called Paintball, which
Called what?
Paintball,
Okay,
which
okay.
is
Yeah,
exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And it kind of set the tone for the platform. Very social, very kind of playful, although it was competitive, and certainly a lot of offshoots from that kind of like lighter weight FPS, I would say, exist on the platform. But what we've seen as the capabilities of the UGC system have grown is more experimentation from our player base. We saw this really incredible game shoot up our charts somewhat recently. That was effectively, I don't know if you remember Chat Roulette or Omegle. It was something similar to that, where basically it was called VRChat. You walk into a room, there's an old style PC sitting on a desk, and with a keyboard and everything, you connect to it, and you're connected to a random user, and you have a chat with them. And it's so these kind of social experiments, these are really popular on the platform. That feels like kind of authentic to RecRoom. But yeah, otherwise I'd say we're definitely a lot of kind of first-person shooter, competitive play works really well on the platform. And as far as brands that have been successful, we've worked a lot with Mattel, with their toy and game lines. And we've started to dabble with fashion brands like Puma and Alo Yoga are actually doing well on the platform as well.
Cool. I'm glad that you started bringing some brands into the.
This question is coming actually.
Yeah, we're quite, and the more that you can address that as well, I think that helps our audience because we do have a lot of brands and marketers here. So very good on that. So. Eric.
Let's go with Eric.
Types of content that resonate, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think what's interesting about VRChat is there's not like these top 2 or 3 pieces of content that like everybody knows the platform, right? It's a universe of worlds, and a lot of these worlds are about the places that they inhabit. So there are places from photorealistic to fantastical to like music visualization worlds that are super abstract and that you're hanging out in, right? So there's a really diverse set of content. I think there are 3 like major use cases that people use the platform for, that content tends to gravitate around as we understood it. The first of which is like just hangout, chill spaces, right? And this is when you're hanging out with a small group of people. It might be like a really interesting like space that has some couches or a park or whatever, and people are just there to hang out with their friends as they would in real life. They're watching videos together, they're talking, they're making jokes, they're doing silly things, right? And there's a bunch of worlds that afford that. The other thing is like there's really fantastical worlds that show up every day on the platform, and there's this thing that's called world hopping. These worlds are from like amateur creators. They're from AAA, people who are AAA game professionals, and they're making worlds in their spare time. And so people just world hop. They get together in these small groups, and they just cruise around between the worlds. And they're literally just like, they've got a jet because they're checking out all these different worlds, and they're hanging out together, cruising around.
The VRChat jet setters, right?
Yeah, which is really cool, and it's like a way to take in all this really rich and interesting content on the platform. And I think it says something, again, if you're looking to capitalize on the spirit of adventurism and exploration that exists on the platform. And then the third category is night out, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Night out?
People are going out and partying in VRChat.
Wow.
Like there's clubs, there's music. I mean, there's DJs that have sets. There's events that are being run. There's
We should do
clubs.
our after party.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's really pretty amazing. I mean, I do that, we do that together, right? You go, and because of the full body tracking and that rich immersive presence, like you go to a club and you're at the club, and people are dancing and they're in real high fidelity because they're in sort of full body tracking.
That's cool.
So that's another really interesting thing is these clubs, these venues, and the ongoing events that can happen within them.
All right, you're selling me here. You're selling me. All right, Janice, over to you. I'm looking forward to hearing your answer.
Yeah, Zepeto has so much diverse content, but in order to understand the content, I love to share about our 4 pillars of content creation tools, of how you create the content. So number 1 would be items. These are wearables, virtual items. We have over 12 million items.
12
created.
million?
Yes.
Whoa.
Different items, from accessories to shoes to makeup, eyelashes, everything. All these items you can purchase, and 99% of these items are made by our own creators. So they create them, submit them, and sell them through the studio.
Wow.
So items, these are what you wear and dress your avatar with. And number 2, I would say, is boots. So we create animated gestures and poses. So it could be dance trends, or it could be just a pose that you use to capture, like photo booths. And so these are used for avatars to express yourself creatively. And then third would be worlds, kind of similar to what Eric said. We have worlds, themed worlds, so you can be going into like a Little Mermaid under the sea adventure, or you can go to a villa shopping experience in Gucci World, where you can purchase limited items, virtual items from Gucci. So many different types of worlds where you can socialize, play, and shop, and even watch virtual concerts. So yeah, the third would be worlds, and then the 4th big pillar would be live, which is our very up and coming hot feature. So users can live stream, go live, and make earnings through donations from your viewers, from your fans. You can go live, and that's a very hot feature for our VTubers and virtual creators.
Interesting. So is the live feature something that you're doing in the US as well?
Yes,
or?
we are. We have a strong team working on live. Some of them are actually sitting here. They work very passionately on live, the team. I'd love to introduce you them afterwards. But yeah, we have live creators, VTubers, influencers going live every week. So we have a schedule rotating, and you'll be able to meet hot creators every week through the platform.
Amazing. So we have very little time left, just 5 minutes. I really want if you guys can give us just with one sentence for which kind of brands you recommend your platforms will be suitable, right? So for Zepeto, I already understood fashion related. Maybe we can start now from Eric.
All of them.
All of them? Everybody? Okay, that's amazing answer.
Some of the things we've seen succeed with
So
brands
everything,
is shopping, events, and then digital twins.
Shopping,
just because of and events and digital twins, right? If you want to extend your physical space into the virtual, again, the high presence, the high immersion. I think again, this sense of high presence and high immersion is really great for brands because you've got a super sort of captive audience who's deeply engaging with the content or the experience.
As you guys, again, I didn't even realize, thanks for bringing up like how quick but if because I had another question I wanted to ask you.
I know.
So let's make it a 2-in-1 question, right?
Okay.
So
I'll be
also,
succinct.
anything new and exciting that you guys are working on that you feel our audience would be interested in knowing about?
Yes, there's a bunch of stuff. But to give it our limited amount of time, I would say we're really investing in our creator economy right now.
Okay.
Finding different ways for creators to show up, make money on the platform, and build more content, and giving users a way to express their appreciation for the amazing things that creators are doing. And the other thing that we started as a VR platform, we're moving into mobile. One of the things I'm really excited about is how we capture that lightning in a bottle magic of what happens when you're fully instrumented in a VR suit, and how do you capture that magic? I think there's a lot of headroom for us to figure that out on mobile platforms. And
All right,
that's
cool.
something we're
Yeah.
proud of.
Amazing.
Oh, wait. I mean, we'll get to the next two, but it's like I'm kind of feel like I'm just getting like a little bit of like a little bit. I just want to learn more. So look forward to talking to you more about that. So Morgan, to you.
Yeah, so I can kind of combine the two questions.
Thanks.
In
You're a good
terms of
guy.
Very efficient.
I like to make it simple. But yeah, in terms of what brands have been working and then what brands might work on the platform, we've had incredible engagements with sports leagues like NBA, and like I said earlier, great partnerships with Mattel and others. But we are announcing that we're opening up our avatar system to full UGC, so creators will be able to create anything they can imagine for the avatars on the system. In fact, Sawhorse is the very first UGC creator on the platform. They're helping us kind of vet the overall pipeline. So
Cheers for that.
so that's great. So within the next couple of months, this will expand to the broader creator community. And part and parcel with that, we expect that fashion brands are going to have a big part to play in really bolstering kind of what is available and how people are able to express themselves as individuals on the platform. So we're putting a
Sounds
lot
like
of
you two
effort.
guys should be working
Yes,
together.
absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, in terms of new things, so the avatar ecosystem standing up, it's looking really good. We are also about to go live with our beta for Rooms 2.0, which is effectively the new iteration of the UGC engine for game creation on the platform. It allows much higher fidelity, much deeper gameplay, much more complex kind of logic design, and all of this works really well with the partnership we've got with Unity. All of RecRoom is built on top of Unity, and we've got a flavor of Unity editor called RecRoom Studio, which allows folks who have experience with Unity editor to come in, create for RecRoom specifically, and inject their content directly into the platform. And
Wow.
RecRoom is available, again, on pretty much every platform that exists, and if it's not there now, it will be very soon. So more to talk about there, but before the end of the year.
That's a good answer. That's
Yep.
a very good answer, Morgan. Congratulations, a lot of alpha there. So.
And then Janice, would you say final couple things, major updates
Yes,
coming?
combining the two questions as
Yes.
well. We've worked with many fashion brands, as you can imagine. We also do very unique collaborations where three-way you can partner with a brand and a celebrity. So what we've done is Bulgari with Lisa from Blackpink. So we would have a special exclusive collection and a limited sale, and they get sold out in matters of seconds. And so yeah, we do many collaborations with artists as well as brands. Another one, similar to what Roblox did actually, we also worked with Walmart and opened up virtual e-commerce in the platform. So we also have pop-ups within Worlds and also sell items through those pop-up events. And then yeah, upcoming feature, which is right connected to that, we today launched a Zepeto partnerships program, just so that we can open up to more agencies and organizations. So you can come talk to us afterwards. We'd love to share more about that. And yeah, we'd love to be growing our partnership network and providing better and easy, accessible ways to partner with all of our in-app content.
All right.
Wow,
You know what?
amazing.
You guys were awesome. How about a big hand for our
Yeah,
panel?
cheer up for our panelists.
So, have you guys ever done a panel on a boat before?
This is a first.
Now I have.
I hope it's not a last. Yeah.
Check it off the bucket list.
Well, no, this has been really an awesome experience. And,
Yes.
And mostly, we're really happy that everybody joined us tonight in terms of the audience. So, how about giving yourselves a big hand? So, again, Nodo had mentioned it before. We're going to be airing this show on June 26th, 10 o'clock. And we're going to be following up with our panelists and getting video that we're going to be supplementing their conversation with. So when you're watching the show, you're going to be able to see a lot of the exciting things that they were talking about as well. I know I think
And
all three
also-
of you were mentioning things and I want to see this now. So
And also, please check LinkedIn and follow Beyond Pixel Show. You will see our monthly events coming in, and then we would love to have more people in our community who will be sharing, contributing, and etc. And then I kind of want to go and have some margaritas. How about you?
I think I want a double.
Let's go.
And maybe some food too. And
Yes.
maybe some too. But one more shout out to Sawhorse for sponsoring this event.
And
Put a
Metaviu.
big hand. And a big hand for Metaviu as a co-sponsor.
Woo!
All right,
Okay.
thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move network a lot.
Great. Yeah.